Okay, so the spoilers for episode 84 of Dragon Ball Super are out. We're going to read it and talk about it, but just a heads up, this is going to be very Android 17 centric, so we're definitely moving along with Goku kind of trying to get people involved and, casting people for the role of this crazy intergalactic universal tournament or whatever. So this is more so going to be focusing in on Android 17, and honestly, I got a lot of questions about that dude, because it seems as though by the end of the story, even by the end of the Cell arc, really, it was kind of like, what the fuck happened to him? A lot of people, they don't even remember that he was in the last scene of Dragon Ball Z, or not the last scene, but in the last arc, when everyone was raising their hands to give energy to Goku so he could defeat Majin Buu. Android 17 was there, and for whatever reason, there's a lot of people that actually missed that, and they're kind of like, wait, Android 17, what the fuck? Isn't he dead? A lot of people still, to this day, think that he died after the end of the Cell arc, and it's like, no, that dude is still around or whatever. But again, I have a lot of questions, and let's read this and we'll talk some more. Dragon Ball Super episode 86, Trading Blows for the First Time, Android number 17 versus Son Goku, April 16th. Goku and number 17 have their first meeting. What will be the results of this scouting attempt? Goku visits number 17 in order to recruit him as a team member for the Tournament of Power. Number 17's been living as an Animal Reserve Ranger, and his answer is Goku this week. How will he face this android? As Goku and number 17 talk about old times. Quickly, I don't know what old times are there to talk about, because if I'm not mistaken, they never fucking met. But yeah, let's read the last bit. They end up fighting a match together. How will Goku fight against the now more powerful number 17? So that's pretty cool as well, that they're doing with these, filler type of feeling episodes leading up to the Tournament of Power. They're having Goku face off against everybody, which seemingly this week's episode that's coming up this Saturday, we're going to have Goku versus Majin Buu, and we had Goku versus Krillin last week. So it seems as though as we're building up, we're potentially going to see Goku fighting everybody that is supposed to be on the roster. Kind of curious if we'll see, Goku versus Roshi. I don't know what Roshi can do at this point, but that'd be interesting to see as well, because again, if he's fighting everybody that is on the list leading up until the Tournament of Power, we might actually even see Roshi getting in some action against Goku, which would be fucking classic. Let's get that Jackie Chan. But I digress. Let's talk about Android 17. So Android 17, one of the lines that caught my interest as well is the last line, the now more powerful number 17. So if Android 17 got stronger, which a lot of people get confused on this note as well, they believe that the androids, how could they possibly get stronger if they're robots? Just look at how the fuck does Android 18 have a kid? Hello? They're actually 17 and 18. They were originally human. They weren't just completely created like Android 16. So the fact that they're human partially at the very least, and just that they have mechanics switched around in them, they're still able to increase their power levels and get stronger. Whatever Jiro did to them obviously changed them a bit, but they still have that part where they could continue to get stronger. Big question though. How did Android 17 get stronger? What has he been doing? If he's a park ranger, and from what we heard from Toriyama in an interview a while ago, where he was talking about that he has a wife and kids and he's settled down, but he's embarrassed about that life, so he doesn't really tell 18 about it much. What has he been doing to get stronger? Because being a park ranger, I don't know, telling people, hey, get out of the fucking park ain't gonna get you stronger. Or if a fucking wild bear shows up against an android that, pretty much in another timeline destroyed the fucking world, that ain't gonna get them stronger either. So I'm kind of curious exactly what has 17 been doing to get stronger. I mean, we've seen in this week's episode that just passed that Krillin was giving Goku a good fight. So it's not completely out of the question that he could give Goku a good fight, because we saw Krillin with some strategy be able to put up, and Goku was kind of pushed back, and it was a really decent fight. So 17 probably will be able to do the same. Also the fact that seemingly the androids can't be sensed, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly from the Android saga. Goku's not going to be able to sense him either, so it's going to be tricky for Goku fighting him. Another thing is, talking about the old times, if I'm not mistaken, Goku and 17 never met, which there was some controversy about the end of Dragon Ball Z when he threw up his hands to give the energy, and he says, I remember that voice, whatever. They never met, and from what I understand, behind the scenes works, Android 17 originally wasn't even supposed to be in that scene in the manga, or in the anime, or both. I'm not sure if that was in the manga or not, but he wasn't supposed to be in that scene. Originally, it was supposed to be Launch, or Lunch, depending on whatever the fuck you want to call her, but at the last minute, I don't know if it was the editorial staff or who was behind it, they said, no, take her out, we don't give a fuck, let's put 17 in there, which is what makes more sense, if anything, if it was Launch, because Launch knew Goku, Goku. They were childhood friends, you know what I'm saying? So that would have worked better. I don't know why they decided to change it to 17. And I wish they did meet in the series for a little bit at the very least, because this is going to kind of be awkward. It's like, oh yeah, maybe 17 might remember from, you know, Jiro's programming or something like that. There's a possibility that he'll recognize Goku from that, but Goku don't know 17 from a hole in the wall. I mean, he's 18's twin brother, so I guess you could kind of get a, oh shit, so he looks like 18 or whatever, but that's gonna be weird. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna talk about old times. Or maybe be like, hey, remember that one timeline when you fucking died of a heart disease and I killed your son? Yeah, let's talk about those old times there, buddy. But I'm really curious nonetheless to see them go at it, see 17, what his life is like now, especially from what we heard from Toriyama, that he's living a peaceful life, what it was that got him stronger, and so many other things as to why the fuck would he join up to begin with. I mean, if he's a park ranger and he's living a peaceful life, if Goku tells him the truth, for the most part, I could see 17 being on board, because it looks as though 17, after everything that happened in the Android saga, he lived a peaceful life, so he might be a good dude now, especially if he got a family. He's pretty much more than likely a good dude, so he's probably not going to be on a dick mode and say, get the fuck out of here. He's going to want to protect his family, so that's probably going to be the reason why he joins. Kind of curious what you guys think, though, for starters. What do you think is going to happen in Goku versus 17? You think Goku's going to learn another lesson similar to what he learned in the fight against Krillin, that you can't just be on your own, you need teamwork, and you need strategy and stuff like that? Also, what do you think they're going to talk about regarding these old times? Like, what? And just your overall thoughts of all this. I'm excited nonetheless to finally get 17 in there and continue moving on so we could eventually get to the Tournament of Power, because after that, I mean, who do we have? Tien, a couple other people get on board, and then we could start this bad boy. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like, or greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk me Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.